Hello everybody, welcome to another video and welcome to this really cool little project that we're going to be doing today. So I've been using this 64 gig Midnight Blue Nexus 6 for the last few months and I absolutely adore nearly everything about it. The display is superb, the battery life is incredible, the camera is a lot better I think than what people give it credit for, but there is one major niggle that I just cannot get my head around, and that is the pretty damn weird colour scheme. Motorola chose against selling an all-black Nexus 6 in favour of this pretty unorthodox midnight blue colour. It almost looks black under artificial lighting and in dark situations, but as soon as you get it out in daylight, in direct sunlight, then, I don't know, it just gives off this really, really weird navy blue tone almost. And I'm a monochrome guy, I like my blacks, my silvers and my whites. So I set about changing the colour of my Nexus 6 by myself. There are two sections to the phone that we are going to be modifying today, and first is the mid-frame. Now the frame gets this blue colouring from an anodised coating that it gets out the factory, so all we have to do basically is strip that anodised coating away from the bare aluminium and we'll be left with bare silver aluminium. We're going to do this by soaking the frame, stripping the phone down and soaking the frame in a bucket of greased lightning. Secondly, we're going to be replacing the back cover. Now, unknown to many people, Motorola started selling a rebadged Nexus 6 essentially under the name of the Moto X Pro to the Chinese market. Technically speaking, it's identical to the Nexus 6, specs are the same, display, camera, everything's all identical. But they weren't selling, well, they didn't sell the Moto X Pro in midnight blue. Instead, they sold it with a silver frame and a soft touch black battery cover. Now, all of the Moto X Pro's parts are interchangeable with the Nexus 6's, so all I had to do was get my hands on a Moto X Pro back cover. Now, they didn't sell very well, so it's taken me months to get my hands on one, but I finally do, you can see it now, and that is how we are going to be giving our Nexus 6 an all-new black and silver colour scheme. So without further ado, let's get on with it. As the main part of the mod involves dropping the frame into a bucket of degreaser, we need to completely strip the phone of all of its components. Firstly, we need to remove the soon-to-be redundant midnight blue back cover, and then we need to rip the 22 screws that hold the two sides of the phone together out. After that's done, we can disconnect the battery and the volume button ribbon cables, and then simply pry the mid-frame away from the motherboard and screen assembly. And it's pretty much as simple as that, guys. The battery needed to be gently pried off the inside of the mid-frame, which was a delicate job to say the least, but aside from that it was pretty much plain sailing. So now we can get to the interesting part. There is our bucket, there is our bottle of greased lightning, and there is our Nexus 6 mid-frame. Simply put, the chemicals in the degreaser break down the mid-frame's anodised coating, and in theory it should have left us with a bare aluminium finish. But after going through the process of dropping the frame in the degreaser, taking it out and then rubbing it down with the flannel a good 6 times, I realised that the coating wasn't just going to come off by itself. So as you can see there, in the end I decided to very, very gently take some steel wool to the frame to help lift the coating off. Luckily, going this route worked superbly, and not only stripped the frame back to the bare aluminium, but it also gave the frame an awesome brushed metal look. Now that our frame is fully modified and ready to go, it's time to start putting the phone back together. As you'd expect, it was pretty much a straight up reverse of what we did when stripping everything down, but I did need to grab a heat gun to make sure the adhesive on the underside of the battery properly stuck itself to the back of the mid-frame again. And now for the finishing touch. It's time to peel back the adhesive on our brand new soft touch back cover and apply it to our newly modified Nexus 6. Again, here I decided to once over everything with the heat gun just to loosen everything up, but aside from that it was a super simple process and it fits absolutely perfectly. And there we go, that is our Nexus 6 modified, and guys, it looks 100 times better than it did before. Here it is. Not only does it look much better in my opinion, honestly the material choice is so much better for the back material. It's very, very similar to what they used in the Nexus 5 back before the Nexus 6 came out, obviously. It's a really, really lovely material. And you don't have the Nexus imprint on the back cover, so it's a lot more comfortable. I found the Nexus 6, the Midnight Blue back cover, was very, very fingerprinty. It attracted a lot of attention from fingerprints and grease and stuff. That soft touch back cover, it grips so much better, and it's more resistant to fingerprints and stuff like that. So that, along with the fact it looks much, much better than it did before, this project has just been a total win. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.